On my channel dedicated to my manga drawing work, I recently talked about my love for the sketchbook and drawing by hand. I like the immediacy of putting down my ideas from my head and then working on them. That's what happened here. I'm working on building the artwork assets for another channel I'll be launching soon, which focuses on reviewing Japanese domestic market games, mostly retro, but with the angle of how accessible they are to non-Japanese audiences, i.e. to what degree will they be playable? Can you play with no Japanese? Or if you do require some skill, what level? The catch is I'm not actually going to be presenting it myself. Instead, I'll use avatars in Saki, Hisao and Kaito, the characters from my manga. A full explanation is in my update video I put out a few weeks back. Anyway, the idea popped into my head to create an expression of Saki yelling, or as I called the graphic, donaru Saki, where donaru is the Japanese verb to yell or to shout with anger. I thought it would be amusing to have a graphic of Saki's avatar lunging out of the TV she will otherwise be presenting from. Maybe the idea came from Parodius Star, where you collect the green bell and you start yelling out random insults and phrases as a projectile from your player on screen, such as a Vic Viper. Anyway, I used my now fairly tried and tested method of using a pencil sketch scanned in via the Scannable app on my phone, and then I cleaned up a resized version in pure black and white before beginning to shade the image. I already had the TV graphic from previous avatars. In this case, I also took apart the image to slightly reposition the hands and get the effect that I wanted, along with using the brush tools and mirroring to ensure that both eyes were the same. When hand drawing, making things identical is impossible, as there will always be at least some subtle difference, and it may not even be desirable to be identical in some styles, but with a pixel art face on, slightly different eyes may look a bit distracting, but that's just my humble opinion. I guess with the manga stroke anime style, that's the case. Other styles, some of that more organic differentiation is a good thing maybe, but that's why you see me apparently chopping up the image here. From there on, it's the same as I always do, gradually shading and gradually increasing the colour count until I'm happy with the image. Because this is an avatar and Saki is meant to be yelling, berating the off-camera player, namely yours truly, she leaves a big exaggerated yelling mouth which I can animate easily enough using D-Paint. Then, saving the individual animation frames out in Deluxe Paint, I stitched them back together using Aseprite on the Macintosh side and make myself an animated GIF that I can set to ping pong playback. And that's another one in the can. It's definitely fun animating Saki, as a character that has been living rent-free in my head for, well, nearly 4 years this year. Drawing page after page of manga certainly allows me to equivocate her very well, but these animated versions really bring her to life for everyone. She bounces around upstairs in my imagination as I figure out how she will end up on the page, but it's nice to share with everyone this moving, somewhat hyper at times whirlwind of energy that I know all too well these days. That's all for this one. I hope you're all keeping well, and I'll see you in another one of these. Take care. Bye bye.